I'm ready. Let's drink. We have an hour.
All right.
Go fast.
All right, here's the intro. Welcome to another episode of the Whiskey House Pub House. Today, we slap that bass and also get into some other whiskeys. Roll that intro. And we're back from the intro, just like normal, that we definitely played for Amara. She was our guest today.
Have you ever heard of our intro?
She
to the
listens
podcast?
all the
I
time.
have not
Yes.
heard your intro.
Yeah.
I have not.
It's a high quality master of a excellent sample. You'd love it.
I feel like I would love
Yeah,
it.
it was designed for us. We had this commissioned
I feel
by-
personally attacked
by
that,
someone you know.
that you did not
It's like the
let me
IT.
contribute
do it.
into this into this project.
It's like if those graphing calculators had audio like custom made into them, that's the sound that it would play.
Yeah, if Texas Instrument had an original soundtrack,
If the TI-81 had
plus S whatever.
the little blue ones.
I was always a Casio guy because the TIs because they were always 130. It was always $129.99 at Target for the graphing calculator that the school required. And we're like, bump that. Casio $69.99.
And it does everything it
Same
already
functions, but none of the teachers know how to use it, so they're like, I don't know, let's figure it out.
The main thing that I got from school is that they always told you you'll never have a calculator with you on your person.
did. Always do.
And now look where I am now.
Take that.
All it takes is an annoying 4 thumb strokes to get to it. It's always like for me, the calculator app, you have to like slide the side, I have it on the side tray.
Yeah, I do too.
Right.
So side tray. So unlock, side tray, calculator. And then if I want to do graphing functions, then you got to switch it to scientific mode. Which
Or
is
turn it sideways.
Yep. And frankly, I kind of just wish I had a calculator straight up on my person. It'd be, I've looked at getting them. They have the Casio watches, the calculator watches.
Whoa.
They're the same. They haven't changed. They still sell brand new ones, the same ones they made from the 80s.
Yeah.
They're dope.
Yeah.
And I want them.
It is rather dope.
Nice.
You know what's more dope than calculator watches, though?
Booze.
Booze.
Carter's excited. He got a new mic, so he's
I'm trying to mess around.
he's pushing that mic.
Yeah.
But before we get into it, I think let's do
A guest intro.
let's do a guest intro. Mara,
Hello.
nice to have you on this episode and probably the one in the future.
It's nice to be here.
Baby claps.
I'll cut this out post.
Oh.
You mean you don't want Carter's water bottle crunch in
and,
for
and a bunch of skin slapping
ambient
noises in the background.
noising?
Skin slap.
Because it doesn't even sound like a clap. In my headphones, it just sounds like
It just sounds like just slappy.
it sounds like you took
Generic
two
meaty.
two ping pong paddles and you just started smacking them together.
So, getting back into it. So, Amara, you have just recently kind of turned 21, and this is not going to be a episode that we have talked about. It's going to be the next one. But hopefully these paint a better picture on what certain things can taste like.
Yeah.
But while we wait for that to come, what are we doing today?
We are trying new things, all of us.
3 new whiskeys. Well, I guess not new, because I've tried the 10 and the 14 of the
How
tin
could
cup.
you? How could you?
Because I got it last night and I was really excited to try it. And I was
You got to roll
Spoiler.
into it.
Yeah.
So we're doing
It's gotta
the
breathe.
tin cups.
tin cup, 10
And the new-
and 14.
Yep.
And
We also have a special bottle. It's another one from 2XO. It's the Innkeeper blend, and it's fresh. It's fresh. So once we get to it, we'll.
When the 2XO Phoenix blend came out, Mara's not going to have any idea what we're talking about.
Sure
but
not.
that one I think was only released to either a high 20, low 30, like number states
Yeah.
as far as distribution. This Innkeeper one, I have seen a lot more positive reviews, whereas the Phoenix kind of had mixed, not negative, but more so, I would say, not quite what they wanted.
Mhm.
Maybe not what they expected for $100 bottle, or a product coming from someone such as Dixon Denman. And I think we've had it twice now on the episode. We had it back on...
We've had it at least twice.
We have.
Because we had it for the initial, where we focused on it.
Yep.
And then we had it again for a... Was it a throw-in for the ones we thought... The episode where we retry things where we thought they weren't as good?
No. It was the Double Oak.
That's what it was.
Episode.
It was the Double
I know, that was
Oak.
the last one. That was the third time we had it, though, I think, on an episode.
No, we've only had it twice.
Okay.
Actually, I think it might have only been twice.
Because the redo episode that you're thinking of happened before, I believe, the 2XO Phoenix release. Possibly
no.
not. It might have been the same night.
I'm pretty sure we grabbed it because we thought something tasted like it. Like it wasn't part of the lineup.
Oh,
we're like,
you know
we're like,
what?
oh wait,
I think he's
compare
right.
it to the 2XO.
I do actually think he's right.
And we did it live
Really?
on the episode.
I don't remember what it was, but I think he's right.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I can't remember. But this Innkeeper blend came out beginning of this month, and it is a mix-up of the same ingredients that went into the Phoenix, just different proportions on this blend. So it is the same age range, it is the same ingredients, and I did have that information. So I think as we pour out our glasses for the Innkeeper, I'm going to pull that up and kind of give some of the stats on it.
Cool. Which one do we want to start on, though?
I was thinking of starting with
That's a better point. Yeah.
the Tin Cup 10,
I am
and then
getting
go
ahead of myself.
14, and we can end on the 2XO because
do it.
it's highest proof and fresh.
Fresh.
So what do you guys know about Tin Cup?
I know they have fun caps.
They have fun
that I keep and use as shot glasses.
Stranahan,
or
like,
mixing
caps.
jiggers.
And they are made. They are from Colorado, not made in Colorado, but from Colorado.
Everybody say Colorado.
I'm a giraffe.
I'm a giraffe. I'm so glad Amara's here so we can have some kind of filter to our horrible inserts.
I'm a
That,
giraffe.
I mean, that didn't really work last time Indy was on too much.
No, but
And just give menacing
no.
looks to people as they say things.
which is unfortunate because it's a podcast. The audio media form doesn't cater to
I did
menacing
not
looks that
do a
well.
good job pouring that.
That's okay. That's why that's why they give you the tin cup, is they know their spouts are terrible on
Yeah.
the rims of the.
Here's
of
a
the bottle.
consolation prize for a terrible bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, our bottle is like way too thick at the neck.
Yeah.
So here's a
It must have
piece
had,
of aluminum.
They must have had two engineering teams. They had a tin cup cap engineering team and then a bottle design team.
Because the bottle design is sweet.
It's cool. It's very hexagonal, very cylindrical.
Very unique.
It's geometrical in so many ways.
It's one of those things that if you're like looking in a liquor store, you would know what that is just by looking at the bottle.
Mm-hmm. So
Can you give that to Dylan?
good job, tin cup.
Yeah, we've never had the first
And this?
the normal Tin Cup on before. Have you guys had it outside of?
No.
No, me either.
Nope. I've only had the two high-end tin cups.
And don't feel like you have to finish those.
I tried to pour small. This bottle is a little wonky.
These rack up because you have 1, 2, 3,
A valid.
4,
Okay.
and then once we have 8 drinks,
It's
if you,
all the
if
way
you were
to
to
the
drink
top.
them all,
Okay.
that's a lot.
We probably should get a
Dump.
dumpy.
Well, I'm not gonna. I know. Spoiler alert. I know I like this one.
That is true.
This one I'm not gonna dump.
Cool.
The
Spoilers.
14
Spoilers.
is
Spoilers.
another story.
I get a lot of butter from the nose, like super buttery.
Just caramely good.
Oh, tastes like butterscotch.
So do you guys know where the contents in this bottle, where it is from?
From Tin Cup.
We got a genius on our hands.
Like,
I love that he was just floored. Sorry. That was hilarious.
I don't. I'm gonna guess a state. Is it one state?
Well, it's a state. Very
Yeah, it
very
is. It is
specifically
one state.
Like all the grain, or
And this goes for specifically just the 10-year. I believe the normal one is a mix of different locations and different whiskeys.
I'm gonna say this is all from Wisconsin.
Nope.
Okay.
So this is 10 years old.
It's all from MGP.
Don't.
You're welcome.
I was just about to say, let's see if he can get it on his the taste and nose.
He can't. No, I'm joking.
It's true, maybe.
Ouch, guys.
We love you, Zach.
I feel loved.
We got to get back to or get out of calling it MGP because technically it's not MGP anymore. So if
what is it?
If we want to be hip and with it, we have to call it Ross and Squid.
Is that actually what it's called now?
Yeah.
Ross and Squid.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
like the animal.
Squib. It might be Squib. Squib.
Squib.
Not squid, but squib.
I'm gonna call it Squid from now on.
Yeah,
That's
a lot of people call it squib juice.
Squib juice.
I like it.
I'm gonna call it
I love
Squib
that.
juice. That's so good.
Someone want to fill me in on what that means?
So MGP used to be what this distillery was referred to, and that was an acronym for Midwestern Grain Producers,
Got it.
who is established in Indiana.
But it's like the very southeastern part of Indiana. It's
Miles-
essentially Kentucky.
It is
like
miles
Got it,
outside of
got it.
Kentucky.
Yeah, which makes it a very
Similar
commonplace.
profile.
Yeah, similar profile and commonplace to get your grains from because you can just ship it to Bardstown in an hour, 2 hours,
sense.
Pick it up and then you're like, nah, I got bourbon.
and that's where
I got
bourbon
bourbon.
is. That's the home.
So the Tin Cup 10 for me, I came upon it through ADHD Whiskey,
And that's how, yeah.
and he did a review on it and kind of talked about its wonders for being a 10-year-old whiskey at a affordable price that is, compared to some things, readily available.
Especially at a 10-year age statement.
Right. And it is a lower proof, I believe. What is it?
84.
80? Yeah, okay. 84.
Which that's what I like it for.
Right.
I just think it's good. You can... It's not anything where it's like... You can get a 14-year age-stated bottle, but it's still...
Oh, no. We're talking
Or 10-year.
different bottles.
Same
now.
same distillery. But it's much more readily available than any other 14 to 10-year-old bottle that you can find and, better price.
The only reason I say it's readily available is because I know exactly where I can find it. I took a day and went around a lot of the stores up where we are, and it was not sitting on the shelf.
Did you have to ask around?
I looked. I went to I went to South Lindale. I went to Ace. I went to maybe Liquor Boy and I think another store. And I couldn't find anything in the metro area.
Wow.
And I had to go to
Our secret spot?
my secret spot.
Secret spot.
Secret.
And that was where I knew it had been.
Interesting.
So when I swish this around, I get a lot of when I aerate it, I get a strong vinegar smell. But only when I do that. If I don't aerate it, I don't get any vinegar.
I forget what mash bill of MGP this is. Oh, Ross and Squib.
Oh, Squib
Which makes me
juice.
think it's like a rye grain. But
I think it is.
I think it's the high rye mash bill.
I think both of them
6432.
Oh, so it's the same mash bill, just less age.
Right. When that would make sense. Referring to the 14er.
Yeah,
is what
referring to
yeah.
the 14er.
So this is the high rye mash bill from MGP.
Yeah, aged in Colorado? Or is it just aged at
It's bottled.
It's just
I think
bottled.
the only thing it says on it, which doesn't. You're not required to say where it aged at. You're just required to say the state of distillation.
It also says that it's cut with Rocky Mountain water.
That, yeah.
I could see why. I mean, it's low since it's such a low proof. They might get their
Right. That's something that they talk about a lot in all of their releases. Is it's cut with Colorado Rocky Mountain sunshine water found on this one hill. Because I mean that's the whole chorus thing,
Sure.
right?
yes,
So
but Rocky Mountain. water.
Colorado's very proud of their water. Let's be honest.
It's not as good as Kentucky water. I'm gonna be honest with that.
Have you had both?
No,
I like RO water.
I have
Only
no
the purist.
affiliation to any state with
But
water.
that doesn't have the same romantic sound to it. Cut with Rocky Mountain RO Colorado water. It's like, no, that doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
We harvest this water from
From our
the toxic spill that
Oh.
we then ran through the RO and bottled it in big water tanks and put it in the back of a semi-truck and brought it down to our distillery where we cut this 10-year-old MGP water and bottled it to give to you.
Now you're going to have a third eye.
Don't ask where the source is from.
Yeah, it's from Springfield.
Yeah.
Simpsons.
It's from...
So have you guys tasted it yet?
Yeah.
I get a honeydew, strong honeydew, and then lots of honey, and then the rind at the end. I think it's a nice gentle flavor.
Yeah.
And that's about it, though. It'll be other than that,
It's got some spice to it.
Yeah, well, I don't get the traditional rye spices though.
Really?
I don't get a.
I feel like I am.
It's a little punchy, but it's not.
Because I'm not interpreting a lot of after the initial taste, a lot of the alcohol. I'm assuming that is more of the higher rye flavor coming into it, of that spiciness. Mm-hmm. How about you, Amara? What? I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to.
Give us some adjectives.
What's your taste buds
Here
tasting?
are some adjectives for you.
Running.
My initial thoughts are, I get a very brown, sugary, sort of caramelly, just even in the smell.
Yeah.
But then also, might be getting a little crazy here. Might be getting just a little skosh of green apple.
Green apple.
You're talking about the rind. I'm thinking like the skin of a green apple.
Sure.
Skinny.
Like a little bit of a waxiness to the skin.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? This bottle wanted to make me think of another theme of doing all 10-year-old product bourbons, and then doing a blind.
I like that.
It'd be kind of fun.
That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
See if Eagle Rare is the one that comes out on top or not.
I hope not. I mean, it's good. It's not my favorite.
Well, because I mean, we have the Tin Cup 10, the Bullet Bourbon 10, which is going to be the same juice but a different proof. Mm-hmm. And
same juice, different proof.
Same juice, different proof.
Sounds like a tagline for a movie.
There's some other 10-year stuff. I don't. Russell's 10, yeah,
Rebel,
that was the other one.
Or
Rebel 10.
Yeah.
That's hard to find.
I know, but
it is really hard to find. But it is out there.
That is a different mash bill too, I suppose. But well, it doesn't really matter. Following you, someone that has a Rebel 10-year.
So, do we want to do ratings on this? Just because?
Are we doing our 5 again? Our normal 5 scale?
I usually do a 10 scale.
Do we do a 10 scale? I don't remember now.
Oh, 14.
Yeah.
I do a 25.659.
I do binary, base 2, up to 6 digits.
I actually go Morse code.
Uh-huh. For your how you describe what it is.
Yes.
You can't see it right now, but Carter's blinking at us Morse code.
Yep.
It says help me.
Yes.
SOS.
I'm scared.
Yeah, I have a hard time comparing this to a lot of things. Most of the higher rye stuff I've had has been from High West or it's a higher proof. And so this is actually kind of a unique experience for me.
What did you say about High West?
I have a high rye grain that's low proof. I think that's some of the only mash bills I've had that are low proof that compare to this.
Okay.
I agree. I share that.
Because I feel like a lot of the high rye stuff we've had.
Turkey's usually traditionally higher rye.
Yeah, but it doesn't taste like it though.
It does. It depends on the turkey. But.
I guess it's true.
So anyway, I'm just saying that I think it's harder for me to relate it to other products. So I just kind of have to throw it right in the middle at like a 5.5. I think it's all right. I mean, this is pretty good.
This is the retail on it is $55.
So it is 55. It's not bad.
If you want that to influence your rating at all. But I'd say, for something that is 10 years old in the current market, the only other product I can think of that is readily available would be the Russell's 10 or Bullet. And the problem I'm running into is I know Russell's 10-year is around that $40 or lower price range. So, there's nothing that necessarily is forcing me to get this one over the Russell's 10-year.
Yeah.
I do like it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I would leave it up to my preference and try the Russells, and most of the time probably get the Russells.
Valid.
So valid.
That is based.
That's sage wisdom right there.
That is the most based comment I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
But did we get a number rating out of Dylan? Because I'm not sure that we did.
I think I would also give it a 5.5. I think the flavor is good and probably tiptoes a little bit higher, but I think for coming into the price range, that's where it's bringing it down. But it is somewhat available, so that's my justification for that range.
I would agree. 5.5. I would almost venture into that, like almost 6, just due to the fact. I mean, I personally really like it.
Yeah,
I think that it's very, like, kind of what you were saying, Zach. Like the higher rye, it's still kind of subtle, but it's just got I think it's just got a really nice flavor. And if I was to buy something, I could see myself doing it like an everyday sipper.
Oh, absolutely.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if this was priced closer to Russell's and Eagle Rare, it would not be on the shelf. And I think
this would be
for
one,
$55,
this
that's
is one
why
we'd be talking about in reverence. Be like, if only we could find a tin cup 10.
And that's the argument is like, does the fact that we can get it justify the price?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, I don't know. Amara, what do you think?
I was very pleased. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, I'm coming at it with a sort of bias, having also tried the 14 earlier.
How'd you sneak a sip?
Spoiler alert.
Are you from the future?
I am from the future.
This is Amara from the future. Don't drink that 14er. Someone poisoned the coffee. More instructions to follow.
But I'm very much enjoying this. This is very approachable for me. The price point is a factor, but it's...
I'm curious. You're at an interesting point in
your whiskey career.
In your whiskey career, journey, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think as it is right now, knowing that's $55.
Yep.
How do you feel about purchasing a bottle? And don't feel like any answer is wrong. I'm just curious from a newer standpoint how you feel about that.
Yeah, I think like this is something I feel like I could take somewhere, like to someone's house, to a gathering or something, and it would be expensive enough that I wouldn't be like embarrassed to show up with it, but it's also pleasant enough where it would be widely enjoyed.
Yeah, I think bringing this to a party in this store, in this instance.
That probably is though.
Well, it'd be cool. They'd be like, "Oh, tin cup." And you're like, "No, it's not just tin cup. This is this is the 10-year." Like, "Oh,
this is
that's intriguing." Like, what's with the 10-year? And then you could show it up. Be like, "Oh, this is what's cool about the difference between."
Yeah. Exactly.
Because I think you also said the best describing word of this whiskey, which is approachable. Yeah, this is extremely approachable. You can come up to it with no expectations and come away pleased.
Yeah.
What about the 14? No,
Agreed.
I think we should get to the loving that microphone.
Space between.
Sorry, I know it's peeking out.
You see this? You see the distance between my mouth and the microphone? If your lips are wrapped around it, Carter, they're too close.
You mean like?
Yeah, it's like that interview. Have you seen that news interview? They're like, is there anything you'd like to say? Oh yeah, this dude's like drunk out of his mind, and he just puts his mouth around the microphone.
Carter is the kid that you had to explain as a teacher, in like the elementary setting, that a water fountain, like the mouth guard, is not meant and there to like wrap your mouth.
That was not me. I hated those kids. In this instance, I was.
I totally did that because it was you come in from recess and you're so thirsty and you have to get all the water. You just put your mouth right on that sucker. And you just drink. It's so gross. Oh. I'm not ashamed though. That's past me. I'm beyond that now.
You've grown.
I bring water bottles to places.
Zach is like, I don't assault water fountains anymore.
I went to rehab. I went to Water Fountains Anonymous.
10 years clean.
So
10 years clean.
I got a question. I just thought about this, and I think it's an interesting viewpoint at it. Eagle Rare's MSR 35
Yep.
ish. If you had the choice, you saw both of these on the shelf. Tin Cup was MSR $55, and Eagle Rare was inflated at $55 also.
Having prior knowledge of both.
Having prior knowledge of both, because I think 9 times out of 10 you're gonna, if someone's new, you're probably gonna recognize the Eagle Rare because that's what they've heard from all their friends.
It's also a cool logo.
Fair.
Yeah. Which one do you pick up in the point that we're at?
Is this okay? So wait, like between the three of us, or if you're like new coming into it and you've not
You
necessarily
as you are right now.
Yes.
Oh, Tin Cup.
Eagle Rare.
I don't prefer Eagle Rare. Like I think it's good, but I think the Tin Cup is better. That's just me.
I know myself. I play things safe. I know I like Eagle Rare. I don't know if I would have liked the Tin Cup 10. And even right now, I'd still be like, oh, I want that because I like the Eagle Rare more.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
Valid.
So I walk up and be like, oh yeah, Eagle Rare, cool.
Can I have your glass?
Throw it on the shelf.
Yeah.
What about you, Dylan?
I kind of have a disdain for paying.
Overpriced or
Over-
over market MS manufactured prices
by
Yeah.
$20.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
It's just like I know that the products are pretty close, and Eagle Rare has always been a favorite, and if it was always on the shelf, I'd always have a bottle. But I think the principle, which I'm not saying other people should follow my thinking on it, but I think I would go for the Tin Cup just out of principle.
Sure. No, that's responsible too, because you see people, and it's not even always because it's an in-demand product. It's because of artificial demand, people hoarding things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Buffalo Trace guy, the distributor, head of distribution that just got canned for that very thing. He is at fault for the problem that we have. Not for the whole thing, but he is a contributor to that problem. So you don't want to be it comes down to the lowest rung, which is us, the consumer. Like, you got to buy things for what they're really worth. And sometimes the MSRP is less than what they're worth. So it gets inflated. And that happens with lots of things. But yeah, this is an 70% increase. Yikes.
Yeah.
Rough. But yeah.
Big yikes.
Well, off recording, we were talking about. I was looking at the E.H. Taylors, and the E.H. Taylors are like all secondary valued like $100 now.
That's insane.
It's double.
It's $45. I thought.
Or well, even if it is 50, it's like
Still.
that's insane.
It's straight up double the price. It's highway robbery.
I'd rob someone for an E.H. Taylor.
Zach is just like, give me your E.H. Taylor.
Well, I think Carter's dad would too, probably.
He probably would. To be honest, he
Given the
probably would.
opportunity. It'd be me.
You gotta help me hide the body, Grandma.
Yep. If someone doesn't know me in real life, I'm super short, and they'd see Henry, who is much bigger than I am, and they'd be like, Bonnie and Clyde? We're like the Bonnie and Clyde of E.H. Taylor.
The ugliest comparison.
Yeah.
made.
Because we'd have like the ski masks or
Right.
the
pantyhose
the
over
pantyhose
the
on our
face.
faces, like, give us your H. Taylor.
Like,
They'd be like, they'd give it to us, and they'd probably just chase us down because we'd both be out of breath by the time we got half a mile away.
they're just like, eh.
That's why you have a
Little
third
kick in the ribs.
party in the getaway car ready for you.
Yep. Thank you for helping us.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the 14er.
Yummy.
We did have Zach didn't have this outlet. The ability to try it beforehand. We had just tried this before setting
So
up.
that means, in my opinion, is the only one that matters.
It
You have
actually
the
is
valid
like probably
opinion.
the most valid opinion.
Yeah, no, it is. Like normal. But the nose on this, when we were just doing the comparison earlier, it's the same base note with only maybe one or two things added on top of each other that enhance the nose further compared to the 10.
Yeah.
Because the nose is better to me.
Oh yeah.
But there was one thing in particular that stood out for me that was not a part of the 10.
And we're going to have Zach see if he can suss
I'm
that out.
wondering if
Or...
you- Maybe,
So,
yeah.
I'm going to say about the scent is that Yeah,
I had them side by side. I
yeah.
guess.
The base is very similar, and this one has a maple graham cracker smell, because it's got the consistency. It's a lot more syrupy. I haven't drank it yet, but it just smells thicker. if you can ascertain that, what I'm talking about.
It smells thick.
But it's a heavy maple. It's a heavy maple scent to me.
What was the nose? The note that I pointed out.
It was green.
Eucalyptus?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Eucalyptus.
It was
Eucalyptus.
It was Yucca fries.
Okay, I mean, maybe like a eucalyptus scented body wash or something.
I don't think it's like pure eucalyptus oil, but it would definitely be like a soap with like eucalyptus in it. Mm-hmm. Where it's like kind of a muted smell, but it's still present.
This smells like a man soap.
Which is funny.
What a man.
Because men's soap is so much more fragrant than most women's soaps. Like, women's soaps are actually, like, useful and they clean, and men's soap is, like, just to hide the smell of BO and oil and
deodorant stick.
It's like, big brick of soap,
yeah.
bourbon flavored, yeah!
Well, we have to have it just because we stereotypically just smell so much worse.
I smell like a rose.
Speak for yourself.
Speak for yourself, guys.
I shower myself in rose water every day.
We know that you don't.
Every 4 days per last episode.
Well, Mara can call back.
Yep.
I love the nose on this.
What's the proof on this? It's the same?
84.
It's the same. To me, it tastes a lot stronger.
Yeah.
A lot more heavy hitting.
It has more of
now
an
you
oily...
don't like it?
It just hit me weird.
I think it's a different like sugar on the back.
It gets more of a brown sugar kind of molassesy.
Yeah.
Than
throughout the whole thing.
And I think you get more of that rye spice.
I agree.
Yeah, it has the evaporative quality is stronger. It is got a grainy texture at the end. Yeah, very rye tasting. And just because we're on the conversation of soaps, honestly, it feels a little more soapy in the mouth.
It's soapy.
Yeah, it's like a minty, flowery, herbal soap. Which, I don't like that part. I like the finish on this a lot more. And I dislike the body by comparison.
Do you guys remember the...
it is soapy.
I don't know what episode it was. But we were talking about... I think it was Highland Park.
Got some Irish Spring up in here.
And I think we... I know. I remember talking about soap. Like a Dove soap on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's interesting how sometimes those can show up.
Yeah. It's like, tastes like soap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is okay. I don't like it as much as the 10, to be honest.
Well, for $70,
Overall.
you better like it better.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't care.
I think it's...
What about the box?
I think it's cool that the extra 4 years did change it enough to be very discernible.
Yeah.
This is not like... I guess, so you start out by saying, oh, this is kind of like the 10 with a couple extra flavors.
Yeah.
I'd disagree and say this is like the 10 and they took out some.
Really?
They substituted. Because the 10 for me, super honeydew rind. Or honey in general.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet honey, thin, silky. This, complete opposite. This isn't silky at all.
No.
This is dense and, spicy and kind of soap. We keep saying soapy, and that's not quite the right word, but it's somewhere along those lines. So
it's not like a cleaning product flavor, but I do understand what you mean.
Yeah, and it doesn't have any of that weird clinginess of like accidentally getting soap in your mouth or something.
The film is not there.
Because I mean that when you say soap, what are people going to think about? I mean, they're going to think about actually having soap
in your mouth.
Being punished as a child.
Yeah, but I mean it's not that same level.
No.
But it's towards that direction.
It's not like you have accidentally gotten the shampoo in your mouth.
No, but it does have a little bit of repulsive.
No, it does. I agree.
Tongue action.
Yes.
What I guess would you guys say if it was like taking out Irish Springs out of the box or something? I'm sure Mara uses Irish Springs.
No, but my grandma does.
Shout out to Peggy. Let's go, Peggy.
Shout out to Peggy.
I currently use Irish Spring, and I do agree with this.
Heck yeah. Cause
I was thinking immediately Irish Spring when I tasted this.
Okay.
I was like, this tastes like green soap smells.
So to me, yeah. So to me, when it's like when you taste it out of the box, it's so strong that you can get it at the back of your throat and your tongue. Like you can taste it.
Yeah.
That's the same comparison I would say to drinking this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's more towards that direction.
It's great.
Cool that I can have a textural difference in liquid.
Yeah.
Liquid.
And for being the same proof, yeah.
Quick
Pretty much
quick
the
summary
exact
of score. I'm gonna give it a 4. Honestly.
Wow.
I
What'd you
think
give it
it's-
before?
I gave the other one a 5.5. This is a 4.
Dang.
This is a drop in quality and taste. I would never recommend this to anyone.
Okay.
It's still okay.
Yeah.
I think it's. I enjoy the flavor more. I find it a little bit more interesting. The palate to me is longer lasting and more viscousy.
Here, just give it to me. I got it.
But I think in the end, the price is also the biggest factor to this.
Yep.
And for that reason, while I say the experience, the taste, the mouthfeel are better to me, for the price being a factor, I would also give this a 5.5. So it didn't lose or gain. I think it overall, with factoring in price, it remained the same score.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Just because I think it's good in its own,
It's neat.
singularity of itself. It's good, I find. But I do think, like, now talking about it, it does actually kind of lose some of that, the qualities, the good qualities of the 10 that are replaced by something not necessarily like, I guess
It's a sidestep in flavor.
Yeah, it's a sidestep. It's just different, and I think I would just give it the same rating, so like 5.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
But definitely not pushing
I
that
feel
6 mark though,
Mara?
like with the 10.
I also did not rate the last one, which I know would frustrate me if I was listening, and I didn't give a conclusive rating. I give the last one a 6.5, the 10 a 6.5, and this one I am giving a 3. I do not want it.
Wow! Dang!
Good job. Yep.
My face,
Big
I
drop.
saw her face when she tried it
Yeah.
originally, and it was not good.
it was a recoil. It was not pleasant.
Yeah.
I do not want it.
What is the worst thing that we've had?
the trifecta.
Oh, yeah.
Trifecta's trash.
I don't remember what we gave that, but that one's
Are you
probably
guys-
like a 1.5.
Do you guys keep track of this?
No.
I want
I mean,
stats.
yes.
Just in
I want
our
a spread.
brains.
I want a
Yeah, I mean,
spreadsheet.
We could go back and listen to every episode. And
that would be so
get
much work.
Yeah. it
I
would be.
have wanted to do that just to keep like a log of what we
Yes.
had. The problem is now we are at, I think, 57.
That would be so much work.
And they're all over
An hour and a half,
hour
2
At
per
least
hours,
an
yeah.
hour.
I like spreadsheets. I'll do it for fun.
Amara's like, just.
You want to listen to 120 hours of us saying things taste like oak, butter, maple.
What do you think I do at work all day long?
the same thing every time.
Honestly, the biggest joy I get is just Carter and like the different
Yeah.
screams he can come up with.
Yeah,
See?
exactly.
I'm excited for this last one.
I'll get the cork pop on that bad boy. So now we're doing the 2XO. What's the name?
Innkeeper.
Innkeeper.
This is fresh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
When I think of an innkeeper, I think of like
this is
someone who's about to give me a quest. I
This
want,
is
I want,
legit.
I want this to bring me on a journey.
Yeah.
It's like actual cork. I
It
thought
might
it was
be.
synthetic.
Well, I know there's some that look very genuine,
Authentic.
but then like Buffalo Traces. The Buffalo Trace one is not real cork.
Oh, it looks like.
The 175s are. So the innkeeper,
Points redacted for Tin Cup because this pour is so good.
the 2XO being, the innkeeper batch is obviously a reference to Dixon Deadman's history at his inn, his family inn.
Do we know what it was
That's
called?
fun. I love that.
It was
In.
The Inn.
The inn.
shoot.
The Motel Inn. The Super Inn. Super 8 stole the name. It's like
Super in. It was actually just a Motel 6 that they like changed the name on.
I forget. I can look that up though. So this is the
Oh yeah.
what I
that's
was
much stronger now.
referencing to last time, the different mash bills. This is from the distiller review of this. It is the secondary aging in char 3 and 4 barrels. The whiskey is a blend of Kentucky straight bourbons with 2 different mash bills. One, a low rye, 16 to 18%, and the other, a high rye, 36%.
I think it's got a great nose.
It's warmer, you know.
I mean, it's 104 proof.
Yeah, it's a little.
Well, there you go.
Are we going to have to compare this to Phoenix? My question. I mean, I have a good reference for it, but I don't know.
I kind of have a pretty good reference for it.
All right.
I mean, I don't. It's up to you guys.
I don't feel it's necessary.
I kind of don't think it's necessary.
I mean, that could be its own episode. Maybe when the third 2XO comes out, we'll do a triple lineup.
I like that idea.
Well, there's supposed to be single barrels coming out at some point. I think that this year.
Let's save that as another episode idea.
Yeah, so
It's the Beaumont Inn that just hit me.
Beaumont.
That's a cute.
That's
I
super
like
cute.
that.
Yeah.
Bowie.
Extra points for
So this is-
the name of the inn.
It's a 7 off the
This
name.
is an 11 out of 10. I don't know how that even happened.
It's perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I get notes of warm sawdust, dark fruits, which are much more up our alley of bourbon smelling, despite being high rye. I don't get a whole lot of rye smell out of this, despite being 36% of the grain. Is that what you said, Dylan?
Well, part of
No. So there's 2 different mash bills on there.
Oh,
One
okay.
mash bill is a 13 to 16% rye,
Okay.
and the other one is a 36% rye mash bill.
Okay, so it's somewhere in between. Okay, gotcha.
And this is the same bourbons that went in the Innkeeper. Also was the Phoenix, different ratios, and that's the difference for the change in flavor between the two.
Got it.
It smells like some kind of fruit, but I can't put my finger on it.
I'm almost getting like a cherry almondy
Yeah.
Yeah, there is
sort of.
Dusty almondy.
there is a
yeah.
dust to it.
A must.
Nice and wet.
No, we're done with that. We're done with that.
Nice and cool.
No. Big Chungus is gone, guys.
He's gone.
He's dead.
He'll never hurt you again.
Stop it.
I don't know if it's dark fruit, but
It's dark fruit.
dates,
I want to say figs.
figs.
Figs and dates are
Synonymous.
similar.
Same
friends.
thing. Kind
No,
of.
because, well, yeah, no.
I don't know what the difference is between a fig.
Figs grow
Into
on
what?
trees.
In a dates are
Dates are dried.
dried.
Figs are fresh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's like a raisin.
The more you know.
Bum 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 ba.
Imagination.
Tastes like a packaged Hershey bar. That chocolate was harvested by underplayed employee or
Oompa Loompa. Orange midgets.
Striped overalls.
Yeah, and white overalls, and I want to say a little bit of. I taste a button from an overall.
Oh my god, it tastes like plastic.
I'm getting some notes of bright green hair.
There's a gloopy taste to this.
It smells like Augustus.
Yeah.
oh,
That's a very interesting taste.
Love the strength. Love the heat. I am getting warm, like a pastry, a hot like a an unfrosted Pop-Tart kind of vibe.
I was thinking more of a scone.
a chocolate scone,
No, not necessarily chocolate.
drizzle chocolate on top. I guess is what I meant.
It might have been sitting next to a chocolate pastry on the same tray.
I was thinking
Picked up some
more
of the chocolate essence.
like a cheese Danish, I guess.
I like that.
Sure, I
I
just
can
don't
get
get
down
any
with that.
creaminess though.
You don't get enough
I don't get no
creaminess?
dairy cream, no cheese, no nothing like that.
I just get kind of that pastry-ish, like that just is what pops into my mind. It's just like so vivid, a cheese Danish.
It's surprising coming after a 14-year-old whiskey, seeing what the influence of the double oak process does to it,
Yeah.
because this has a ton of wood
Lots of wood.
on it,
And
and up front.
And we don't know how old this is, correct?
I
mean, it
5 to
varies.
6 years, what we believe.
I just wonder if that's to its detriment. I mean, it's so oaky.
So you're just thinking less age?
Less, not double oaking. Not.
Oh, you think it's hurting it?
I think it's hurting it. Honest, I think this would be more refined if it was not put back into another fresh barrel.
I would be curious to taste its original parts.
Yeah. I personally think it would probably not be well married, obviously. 'Cause, I mean, that's the whole thing. That's why you put it in the
oak, the barrel again.
the second barrel.
Yeah. Yeah, if it was just blended together without second barreling, I think those flavors would clash too much.
Because we've done blending on our own, and we know what a lack of time does. It does not mingle.
Totally.
But obviously, without being able to barrel our blends,
True.
but you need a vessel, and an oak container would be that vessel.
I mean, we all could buy we all bought baby casks again.
Yeah, we all got our own baby casks.
We could do another Dante's Rapido.
So here's the thing: based off of memory of the Phoenix blend, what are we thinking?
It definitely tastes like it.
I don't think this is far and away better or worse. I'm picking at straws here to really discern the difference. This has a lot more mellow finish.
Yeah.
The Phoenix has a harsh, spicy, hot finish.
So what if I told you that the reviews where they side by side the Phoenix to the Innkeeper is regarded as a more spicy and more complex whiskey, while the Phoenix was more dark fruits
Interesting.
and mellow.
Of memory, I would disagree, but they're the ones having it back to back, so I have to. I'll say that maybe my opinion is flawed in that sense, but I really don't think this is any better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I just think it's got
Given
different flavor,
Right.
a little bit of different flavor, a little bit more complex, but it's still. I think it stays in that realm
Oh, for sure. I think it does stay in the realm.
of it. Very much tastes like Phoenix, but I think it's just got a little bit of added, something here and there.
Absolutely.
And it's just kind of hard to pick out, though.
Okay. I can see that.
when you keep saying like cheese Danish or pastry, it just makes me wish this was creamy.
I know.
Like I just wish that had that, and it would be perfect.
If
It'd
it
be
if
so
it,
good.
if it had that creaminess, it would
Yeah.
be perfect.
Oh well,
Creamy.
Amar, what do you think? This is a pretty.
Nice and
This is a big jump.
A big
in,
step up.
in price and proof. I mean,
So-
not that you haven't had. I'm just saying.
No,
like,
yeah. Walk me through. I don't know that I've heard anything about the price point.
So this is $100
Okay.
at
it's 52.
104 proof.
Yeah.
So I mean,
opposed to the
significantly
84
more.
proof.
Yeah, compared to the 84,
10% more alcohol.
Wow.
it's significant.
Much more pleasant experience for me than the 14-year tin cup.
That's crazy.
I'm excited for our second episode.
But my body reacted to it in a very similar way. If
How's
that
your-
makes sense.
How is your esophagus compared to Alex's? I don't know if you
Not
actually said
destroyed.
it. You
My
are.
esophagus she's hardy.
She's
Really
hardy.
hardy.
She's healthy.
It's
Alex is his paper.
comes from good stock.
The esophagus harvest is good.
She done to be a lot of collagen.
The steel pipes.
So, to wrap up, we are in a time crunch. Maybe the listeners can tell by that, but I'm gonna give this a rating of good and a number of 6.5.
Okay.
And a half.
6.5.
Yep.
I'll give it a 6. I'll also say it's
6.5.
very good. For whatever reason, I'm remembering very heavily that I gave the Phoenix like a 7, but I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think
I would have to listen back.
this being the third whiskey trying,
True.
it's hard to say, but that's a good review.
Yeah.
I think.
It's definitely
Sorry,
above
are you-
average.
What was the rating you were giving it?
6.
Okay, 6. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I would probably give it a, without remembering exactly also what I gave the Phoenix, if I gave the Phoenix a 6, this is slightly better at a 6.5, I think.
Okay.
So adjusting to whatever the Phoenix was previously,
Yeah.
that's what I would do.
I'm excited to hear what Amara has to say because she
Yeah.
went from a 7.5 for the 10 tin cup
I
Was
know.
I at
To a
7.5?
3.
to a 3. I thought you were at maybe it was 6.5.
I feel like I was 6.5.
6.5. Yeah. 6.5 to a 3, and now
This is going to sit at a solid 5.5.
solid 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
That is
people,
good.
People still need to understand and figure out that that's
is.
not bad.
No, 5 is
that's okay.
That is
It's
average.
average.
That is good.
It's right in the middle. That's great. That's a value proposition right
Yeah,
there.
it's value.
You don't have to be an 8 out of 10 because that is reserved for things that are
Top tier.
you're getting to the best of stuff.
And that's just the motto you should take with you through life.
Right. Be a 5.
Be a 5.
You don't have to be an
Don't
8.
worry about being a 5. You're doing great.
Stop chasing those 10s. Just be a 5.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Stop being special.
Stop being special.
Stop it.
Except
All right. Well, I think that was another fine review that we did, and thank you for joining us on this episode of the Whiskey House Pub House.
See ya.
See you next time.
bye.